What's going on, everyone? This is Deke back with another video talking about Wonderkids, and this episode is going to be with center mids and center defensive mids. So I kind of lumped them together. Some of these guys play other positions as well, but just kind of like the main position is going to be those two. So in Sorare, it's very important to have a nice center defensive mid, center mid kind of guy that is going to score a lot of points in this format. So kind of if you're used to DraftKings, you're not always looking for those center mids. You're looking for those wide players where you get more points, and the matrix kind of works better with the CDMs and your central mid. So I wanted to say thank you for everyone who has liked, commented, said a couple people that you were interested in these videos. I'm going to go through each position and try and release one pretty much every day, so that we can kind of get through all these positions, and then I'll provide some more content. I am just getting started with this content on Sorare. I really love the platform, and I look forward to kind of making these kind of videos pretty much moving forward. If I can do a video a day, that's great. Sometimes I won't be able to, but what I have here is I have 3 guys that I've already bought, and then I have a few honorable mentions that I'm watching that I haven't pulled the trigger on. So as you can see here, first we have Alhassan Yusuf at Royal Antwerp in the Jupiler Pro League in Belgium. So this is a guy that they have a few young guys that I like, but he's the guy that I pulled the trigger on. His current floor price is 0.0263. As you can see from the graph here, I already bought him at 0.0195. So you can kind of see where the chart is. I bought it at a high. It's kind of ebbing and flowing. So he's turning 22. He had 30 starts last year. So if we go to his scores, 30 starts, 8 subs. As you can see from his graph here, pretty solid. I really think it's going to even go up. A couple things that just kind of looking at, whenever he started, he averages 52.2 points. So that's a nice guy that you're getting at a cheap rate. And he had 570 plus, as you can see here, 91 here, 81. You know, you're seeing a lot of those green scores, which is what you're looking for, especially at a cheaper entry point. That's basically what I'm trying to provide, just some cheap entry points. You're not going to lose your shirt on these guys if they are a bust, but again, not financial advice, just things that I've done. And the last thing that kind of, it shouldn't really mean anything in terms of buying someone and not buying, but they are in the second round of qualifying for the Conference League, so maybe you'll get a couple extra games throughout the season if they can kind of go through and qualify. So that's a little added extra. Second player, this is Morten Friend. I believe I'm saying that right. He's a versatile guy from Genoa, sorry, in the Serie A. So he is very cheap, and you know, if we take a look at the Serie A table from last year, they did get relegated. So this is kind of it's not, he's not going to get points this year. This is more of a kind of down the road. I thought they could have got out at the end of the season there, but you know, it is what it is. They didn't make it. So I bought here at 0.0077. So the entry fee is pretty much nothing on this guy. Could have I have waited maybe a little bit? Yeah, probably. But he's versatile. 4 starts at right back last year, 1 at left back, 1 at center mid. As a 20/21. He turned 21 in April. But this is a guy that I really think I want to be ahead of in terms of, yeah, he's not going to get me points. I'm not going to have him in lineups this year. But I think next year, he's either, maybe they can get back up. That would be ideal situation. Or he's going to garner the attention of other teams, which makes it very risky. So this is a cheap entry. I mean, €8 here is the ongoing price lately. It's very volatile in terms of you have no idea where it's going to go. But he is a young player at 21. I really think this is a hill that I'll go on. Especially playing Serie A football last year. He could even take a move. I really doubt it, but he could take a short-term move But I think getting that game time, as you can see here, he played kind of all over. And the big thing is, as you can see from the scores there, he came over from Brøndby. And he had some nice solid scores. You know, he had 100, he had a 72, he had a 60. So he does have that kind of, 60 range that you're looking for. So that is a guy that I already bought. But I would definitely put very risky. If you can wait on him, just wait on him. That's not a guy that people are going to be jumping all over to buy. He only has 50 cards and 2 rares. So that's kind of what you're looking at with him. And my last guy that I've personally invested in, and as you can see here, his chart has kind of gone way down. Could be a little bit with the ETH price going down. But as you can see here, I bought in at 0.0045. Very cheap. This is the guy that plays in the MLS. Pedro Veit. He is 20 years old, just turned 20, and he's with the Whitecaps until 2025. So, another guy that this is a very cheap entry point. I'm not really worried about if I get burnt on this guy. I believe in his future. I believe that if he gets some game time, he can be a very serviceable MLS player in the short term, and maybe he has a ceiling kind of thing going on in the long term. So I bought, and a lot of DMPs, 3 starts. But if you take a look here, he started play 24 minutes. That's odd. I'm not really sure, but he's playing Cam. He played all 90, got 50. So that's against LAFC. That's a tough team, probably the best team in the league in my opinion, talent-wise for sure. Played, pretty much every game here in this stretch. Then I believe he got injured. No, I don't think he got injured. I'm thinking of someone else. Sorry. He's out of the squad. He's been in and out of the squad. He's back in LAFC again. He came on as a sub. I really think he can kind of make his mark on the team and get in eventually. Even if it takes next season, maybe. That's a guy that his price can only go up. His 3-day average is €4. So I'm trying to find guys that have a super, super low entry point where if you lose that, whatever. If he burns, whatever. That's fine with me. Just trying to find some guys that are cheap. Okay, so now, those are the guys that I am already in on. These are the guys that I've been watching that I could possibly be in on. So the first one is Angelus Stiller at Hoffenheim. So he left Bayern last summer, to get some game time. I believe he wasn't really excited about Marcobula coming in and them getting a couple other options. He wanted to stay at Bayern, but that wasn't the case. Last year, he started 18 games and came out as a sub 8. So if you can see his graph, he had some low games for sure. Some of those were the subs, but he's a guy that I would definitely want to watch, especially at this price, 0.0159. It's doable. I could buy in right now, but I am going to hold out just for a little bit. If you look at that price tag, I really think he, at the end of this next season, I think he's going to be higher. So let's take a look at his last 10 games. He started 9 out of his last 10, and it was a sub in the other. So you take a look, he's definitely making an impact into the squad. He is a first-choice regular down the stretch. If you look, he's either coming off the bench, he's playing pretty much every game, compared to the beginning of the year where he started a couple and then kind of came off the bench. So he just turned 21 in April. I expect a bigger impact. He had a goal against Freiburg in the 4-3 loss. This is a guy that pretty soon, I just haven't pulled the trigger on him. He does have an injury of note, a knee injury, out until July 14th, it says here. So something to keep an eye on. But yeah, I would say he's my number 4 that I'm closest to buying. Next up is Taferner from Wolfsburger in the Austrian Bundesliga. So this is a guy that I really like. 0.0128 floor. But the reason I haven't bought is because he has interest in several German clubs, which really would kill his value in my opinion. If he stays at Wolfsburger, this is a slam dunk in my opinion. If you take a look at what he did last year, so 30 starts. He's playing left wing, right wing as a midfield. So he's kind of listed as a center mid in that section, but he's played pretty much everyone. CDM as well. He's played everywhere, so he's very versatile. 48.1 average in starts. So if you take a look at here, his average 48.1, and he did have some upside games. 660 pluses. So that's pretty solid for a guy that kind of just making his way into the team as a 21-year-old, just turned 21 in January. But that's a guy that's, if he makes that move, it kills his value. So I'm just going to hold off on him. I'm not going to quite throw my money in on him. Although it is a cheap entry, it's just, I don't know. I guess if he stays there, that is a slam dunk, but I'm just going to wait. You don't always have to just kind of, get in on every player. Next one, Nicolo Rovella. So he was another one that got relegated at Genoa. Jeez, I'm struggling with that. But he is at Juventus, so that doesn't really affect him. He got injured at the end of the year, and he was pretty disappointed that he couldn't help his team fight the relegation battle. A little bit pricier, 0.0475. That's kind of why I haven't gotten in on him. He turned 20 in July. He was first choice on loan before he got injured. He had 470 plus. So if you take a look at his scores here, he had 470 plus early. He did have some injury woes, but then he was on the bench here. He didn't come off. He just must not have been fully fit. But I'm just not sure what I want to do with him. So he is at Juventus. He has kind of said that he wants out because they brought multiple people back from loan. He doesn't seem to be part of the first team. He wants to be part of the first team. It's risky waiting for that. If he stays at Juventus, he might not get the game time you're looking for. Where does he go? I don't know. I think he's a Serie A talent, but where's he going to go? That's a kind of speculative game that I don't really want to play at that price. He is super talented, though. I really think he is going to, if he can land somewhere favorable, he can be a good guy to kind of be a leader on one of these smaller teams while he gets older. I mean, in December, he just turned 20. So, bright future with him. I'm just kind of taking that wait-and-see approach with him. And my last player is Marcobula for Dinamo Zagreb in Croatia. So, if you're kind of looking at players, that's a team that you want to be a part of. They're a winning team. They dominate the Croatian league over and over and over. This is a guy who is 0.0178 ETH as his floor. He had 6 starts, 14 subs last year. If we take a look at his scores, he was on the bench 15 times. He's a guy, he's very talented. He is turning 21 in September. I think he's going to get more reps this year. So down the stretch, he did get hurt, I believe. Yes, so he's the guy who got hurt down the stretch as well. A lot of subs, not a lot of starts. But I think next year he can establish himself a little bit more in the team. And it might be a guy maybe 2 years down the line where he starts to really rack up some points in a great situation if he stays there. He's in contract until 2027. So that'll be a kind of waiting game to see if he can establish himself in that first team. Whenever he did start in those 67, I do want to just say how great his situation is. He did have a 77. Sebenik is who they played for that one. But 49, 39, 56. So no, not the worst course whatsoever. And that is not playing 90 minutes. Here's the only 90-minute one was 33 minutes. So that's kind of the upside if he can work his way into the team. If he can kind of go there, I don't see why he can't pay off on that price. I'm still waiting on him. It's not a guy that I'm buying right away. But, another option that you can kind of take a look at, maybe put it in a watch list and see down the line. Maybe halfway through the season you see he's starting to get some burn, might be a guy to take a look at. All right, so that's my list of defensive mids and kind of central players. Some are wingers as well, but I kind of put all those guys together. If you guys like this, give me a like, subscribe. I'll be keeping these posts coming. Hopefully one a day of this type. I'm not sure what I have going tomorrow. It is July 4th in America, so having picnics, things like that. If you're not familiar, Independence Day in America is pretty big, so I'll have family over, but if I can record a video in the morning, I definitely will, and I'll get that posted. Thanks again for stopping by, and comment below if you have any central players that you are interested in buying, and I'll do some research on them, and maybe I'll pick up some of the guys that you're talking about. All right, see ya.